caveat this video by saying that I'm not a dog expert, I'm not a dog professional, I'm not a trainer, I'm not a vet. This is just my experience as a new puppy parent. So when you first bring your puppy home, they're going to be more susceptible to certain diseases that can be spread by things like being on the floor, interacting with other dogs, even vaccinated ones. Your puppy's basically at their highest risk when they first come home. Now, the thing that I think most people are the most nervous about in terms of risks for puppies is something called parvo. And the reason why people are most concerned about parvo is, first of all, it can be very dangerous for puppies. It kills a lot of puppies every year, but also it's incredibly contagious. So my understanding is that if an infected dog poops on the floor, parvo can live on that surface for up to a year. So if your dog sniffs it or eats something from that area, they can catch parvo. And this is why they often say, don't put your puppy on the ground until they're fully vaccinated. How long does full vaccination take? For us, Vigo's now 5 months. He's actually not fully vaccinated yet. I think it depends on where you live. But what I didn't realize when I brought Vigo home is that there are like multiple different vaccines that your puppy will need. And for each vaccine, they need several different boosters of it, for lack of a better phrase. But this is why you'll end up taking your puppy to the vet like every 2 to 3 weeks to continue their vaccination journey. Vigo's going to get his final set of vaccinations tomorrow. They take a week or 2 to kick in. So you still need to be a little bit careful with him until he is considered fully vaccinated. The difficulty with this is that, especially between that 8 to 16 week mark, your puppy is in a really important developmental stage where socialization is key. And socialization doesn't necessarily meeting every dog and going everywhere. It just means exposure. And so that's why things like a wagon and a blanket are going to be super important for you when you first bring your puppy home. Our original vet, we changed vets. Our very first vet actually told us that he shouldn't be touching the ground, shouldn't be meeting any other dogs until he was 5.5 months old and fully vaccinated. My nervousness with that was that he might end up with behavioral problems if he wasn't socialized appropriately. So understanding the risks, we made the call to kind of go about having him meet other dogs and be on the floor. That made sense for us. We spoke to a few other vets as well just to get second opinions, but speak to your vet before you decide what's right for your puppy. So the vaccination process takes a good chunk of time. It takes months, at least in the US. And every time you vaccinate your dog, as a side note, there's a cost associated. So if you haven't already considered it, consider getting pet insurance. We're with Lemonade. There's a link in my bio if you want to check them out. It's also worth making a plan for if you're bringing home a puppy, how are you going to socialize them? So make sure you have a wagon. A wagon was super valuable for us. I started off trying with a sling and Vigo just hated it. I think he was too hot because of his fur and because we're in Miami. Oh, my pasta's bubbling over. My lunch is done. I would just recommend consider your plan for socializing your dog during that period where they shouldn't be touching the floor. Check with your vet, manage expectations of friends and family who might have a dog, who will want to come visit him immediately. And yeah, make sure you have a plan for the cost. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, this is just my 2 cents as a dog parent. I'm sure experts will have more to say about it. Speak to your vet if you're in doubt. I'm gonna have my lunch now.